Hello and welcome to Matt's Casual Cooking. Today we're going to be making something very fun that I've had a hard time finding out anywhere. It's cheesy manicotti, a very fun and very tasty dish that you can make right at home and you're going to enjoy. So we're going to go over all the ingredients and how to put it together, and let's get to it. Folks, so before we go over the ingredients, what's also really cool, like this cheese stuffed manicotti, is subscribing. It's a very fun way to get great meals into your inbox weekly that you can make, and they taste really good. So please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications on every week. So what you are going to need is you're going to need at least 8 manicottis. Now for your stuffing, you're going to need 2 cups of ricotta, or like a small curd cottage cheese. You're going to need 1 egg, and you're going to want to beat that slightly. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of parsley. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of basil, and you're going to make sure that's crumbled. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. You're going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and you're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. Now for these ingredients here, if you can get them fresh, go ahead and do that. But if you can't find anything fresh, or you don't have the time, we've got all these here that I'm showing you, which is a good mix as well. Now for the sauce, you're going to need a 1/4 pound of butter, which is 4 ounces, and that was about 9 tablespoons worth of butter. You're going to need 7 tablespoons of flour. You're going to need 3 cups of chicken broth. You're going to need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. You're going to need 2 cups of grated Monterey Jack cheese. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of Tabasco, and you're also going to need some salt to taste. So how much, again, is up to you. So we're going to go over everything here in a minute. I will see you then. Alright folks, so for the stuffing, what you want to do, and you can see I've already done it, go ahead and add all your ingredients into a bowl, and you just want to combine it together, whether with like a wooden spoon. I used a whisk to do this, but whatever you have to do to combine it together. And all we're going to do here is you're just going to set it aside for the time being. Now for your manicotti, you're going to want to cook it according to the directions on the box, because what we want is we want this to be slightly cooked. We basically want it to be al dente, because we don't want it to be too soft, because we got to put our filling in for it. For this one, we're going to cook it for 9 minutes, and then once it's done, you're just going to go ahead and drain it, and we're going to set it off to the side for the time being. So go ahead and do that, and then we are actually also going to get to the sauce. So I will see you then. All right, folks, so for the sauce, we got our butter. So go ahead and turn on your stove, and we're going to melt the butter. Now once it's all the way melted, we're going to add our flour, and you're going to whisk it, and you want to do that constantly for 3 minutes. And then once that's done, we're going to move on to the next step. But you're going to want to have your chicken broth and heavy cream ready on that part. So I will see you then. Alright folks, so it's been about 3 minutes, and I did forget to mention, I'll put it on the first part when we're doing this, is if you're on high, And after you add the flour to the butter, after it melts, you might want to turn it down to medium so it doesn't cook quite as hot, because we don't want this to really brown. If it's like starts to smoke, I mean, then you're going to have to start all over. So all we're going to do now is go ahead, slowly add your whipping cream. Just whisk it in as it goes along. And then what we're going to do, go ahead and add in your, pick that up, pick up your chicken broth. I'm going to have to add another cup. This is only a 2-cupper. And just slowly do it and whisk as you go. Now I'm going to add the last cup here, but what you're going to do is after you've done that is we're going to whisk it and we're going to let it cook for another 3 minutes. Now you can turn this up a little bit more, maybe to medium-high. And what we're looking for is we're looking for the sauce to be smooth and really thicken up, and that's what the flour and the butter is going to really help it do. So go ahead and do that, and then we will move on to the last part of the sauce. So I will see you then. Alright folks, so it's been maybe just a hair over 3 minutes. But if you do notice your cheese start to boiling, go ahead and turn it down. We don't want that splattering all over the place. So all we're going to do now, and you can see it's really thickened up since we started, and that's really what we're looking for. It's going to be smooth very quickly, but the thickening is going to take a little bit of time. So all we're going to do now is go ahead and get your cheese, salt, and your Tabasco sauce out. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball the Tabasco sauce for about a quarter. I think that's enough. Go ahead and add a little bit of salt to it. Add a little salt. And now what you want to do is add your Monterey Jack. Whoops. Alright. Clean that up. Okay. Now go ahead and just be careful to incorporate it. I probably actually needed a bigger pan for this, but that's okay. If you got a smaller pan, just kind of go slow incorporating it. Sometimes just twisting it like this will help. Now all we're going to do is once it's combined is we're going to just wait until you see all the cheese has melted into this. So then once that's done, go ahead, turn off your heat, and we're just going to set it off to the side for the time being because our manicotti right now is not done. So once that's done, you've moved to the side and our manicotti is done, we'll move on to putting everything together. So see you then. Alright folks, so our manicotti cheese is done. So we're going to put it together now. Now what you want to do first is, I've got a 9x13 pan. Now if you got something a little bit smaller that's going to be able to hold all of them, go ahead and use that, but a 9x13 pan can certainly use. And you can see here what I did is you want to take some of the cheese, I just used a ladle, and you just want to give the bottom a good covering. And don't worry about using up all your cheese. You're going to have quite a bit of sauce down here. And you can see the manicotti is kind of pliable. Now obviously make sure that this is pretty cool before you touch it. You don't want burned fingers. And for adding it, I'm actually using like a pastry decorator. You can use a spoon, you can use a tablespoon. And all you're going to do, you can see I'm adding it in here. And you just want to make sure, I got like one side. You just want to make sure that's all the way filled up. Then go ahead and add it to there. And you kind of want to put it in a little far so you can make sure you got the entire thing. And if you need to come back here and do the other side, that is okay. So go ahead and do that for the other last one of them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the rest of your cheese, or your sauce, sorry, I know I keep saying cheese. Take the rest of your sauce, and then you're just going to add it on top of the manicotti. And then once you do that, we'll get to cooking it. So I will see you in a minute. All right, folks, so our manicotti is done. I got it covered with the rest of the cheese sauce. So go ahead, put on a piece of aluminum foil, turn your oven to 375, and we're going to cook this just for 1 hour. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you at the end. See you then. All right, folks, so you can see we are done. You can see it's got a lot of cheesy goodness going on it too. So you're really, really going to enjoy this. And the Tabasco gives it just a nice little kick in with the cheese. If you enjoyed making this recipe today, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I want to thank you again for watching. And hey, come back next week for another fun cooking journey with me. So I want to thank you for watching and take care.